It's Zosh with Hybrid Racing. Alongside, I have David from Hybrid Racing, and today
we're going to talk about how to improve your shifter feel, and specifically detent springs and gear selector springs.
So let's talk about it. So David, what do these gear selector springs do?
So gear selector springs control the lateral movement in your gear selector, and that helps center your shifter in between gears.
If I'm in first gear and it looks like I'm in neutral, that would be a shift selector spring issue?
If you're in the neutral gate and you're moving from side to side, and if you say like you have it in neutral and you're going to move your shifter to go into first, but you don't actually go into first, and you let it go, the force at which it returns back to center, that is really the main job of the gear selector. So if you let it go and it kind of just slowly goes back to neutral, that's a good sign that that spring is kind of worn out.
So with the knowledge of the gear selector, I'm assuming the detent springs would also help?
Yeah, so detent springs, or they're really shift fork detent springs. So these things apply pressure to the detent balls inside of the transmission, which really locks the gear into place once you've selected the gear you want to be in, right? So consider when you're going from second to third, the force that you're feeling when you move that shifter, that is the detent spring applying that pressure.
So selector springs are for gate positioning and centering, and detent springs affect gear engagement stability.
Correct. Yes.
Perfect. With the information you provided, why would it necessarily be important to change them?
Well, over time, those springs lose tension, and so they become weak with repeated heat cycles or repeated use. So worn springs can really lead to like loose or worn out feeling shifts, like I said, weak centering and really less defined gear engagements.
Could that somehow make your transmission become more worn if you're trying to shift into gears that is not allowing you to?
Yeah, I think what can happen is it can give you the perception that your transmission is actually broken. If the force, if it's really easy to move in and out of gear, and also if you're shifting and you're experiencing like push out, where your gear will kind of shoot back out of gear. And I don't know if you've never noticed that, but like, say you're driving and you're going from, 3 to 4 or 4-3, and your shifter comes back out of gear and goes to neutral. Sometimes a worn shift fork can actually push the detent spring back the other way.
Wow, because it's so weak.
Yeah, exactly, because it's not defined, it's not engaged directly. So, that can happen too. So factory detent springs actually have a service limit, and Honda calls out a service life. So these springs actually do need to be changed in your transmission according to, Honda's service recommendations. Most people don't.
I've never knew that was a thing.
The majority, I would say, of people don't, and especially now that you'll find used transmissions on the market, which, K-Series transmissions are inherently old now. Nobody ever changes them. They never get serviced. So if you have a higher mileage, gearbox, chances are it's got worn out springs and it's going to feel loose.
So what does Hybrid Racing's detent springs have to offer?
So our springs are stiffer, they can be slightly longer, and they have different spring rates. So what it does is, in addition to replacing a worn out factory part, which can cause things and make it feel real numb, but you're putting in there something that's slightly more aggressive that will kind of give that I don't want to say that, maybe that preciseness back to the gear change feel, right? So these little springs actually make a big difference.
Well, David, I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. These seem like a really, really solid upgrade.
Yeah, they're one of the most effective things that you can do to improve the way your shifter is gonna feel. And I would say regardless of what shifter and cables you have, it's definitely going to make it feel more precise and more engaging. And it's a really low cost thing, right? So you're talking amount of difference that it makes for the dollar, right? Like bang for your buck, if you want to say that. It's honestly one of the best things you can do.
It's like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Get you a refresh on a budget.
Yeah.
Can't beat that, man. That's really awesome.
Yep.
Super stiff too.
We've got some transmissions outside, some that have factory springs in them, so we'll go throw these in and you can feel the difference.
Say less, let's do it.
Cool. So this is Detent springs. This is your gear selector spring. All right, we're going to install the K-Series Detent springs. This is a AST5 gearbox from a Acura TSX. Your Detent springs are located under the engine mount. So, if, obviously this is going to be easy because it's not in the car, but if you do have it mounted in the car, you'll have to remove the engine side bracket or the transmission side bracket. There are 3 Detent springs and they're removed with a 12mm socket. Pretty easy. Just bust them all loose. Make sure no debris or grit or sand or anything goes down in the holes. This one looks pretty good. Make sure that you save these washers because you absolutely need to have them when you go to reinstall them. I just make sure that you wipe kind of around where these washers go. Make sure that there's no grit or sand or dirt or anything like that. So once you have those cleaned off, I will now install hybrid Detent spring, and you can see that it sits up quite a bit higher. And then I'm going to take your washer and make sure again it's cleaned off. There's no nasty stuff around it that would keep it from sitting flat. Give your bolt a good clean. Now if these washers are mushroomed or flattened out, you definitely want to replace them. And if you over torque this, if you over torque this down, then you can actually force the detent ball into the cone of this. And if you do that, then it'll never work and it's never going to engage and you're going to break a bunch of stuff. So don't do that. And yeah, just put your washer back on there, put it down in there and get it started. Okay. Take our second spring and put it down in there. Make sure your washer's clean. Thread that on. And then the last one, we'll do the same thing. You can see how much, sort of taller. And even though it is taller, it's, slightly more aggressive. It's not crazy because you don't want to have like really super strong springs on this. So got those going, and I'll just snug these up until it stops. Okay, and so then we will torque these 16 foot-pound. There it is. So now you've got the new Detent springs installed. Yeah, see what it feels like. All right, so now we'll install the gear selector springs. This is a TSX transmission, and I call that out because the shifter cables are bolted on like RSX transmission or pretty much any other gearbox that's not a TSX or a cord. The shifter cables are held in with clips, so you would want to remove those clips. But because we have this one, we need to unbolt the brackets. Then you'll want to disconnect your shifter cables, pull the pins, slide your cable out, then remove the cable, slide it out, slide the cable off. Don't bend the cable. So like a big thing is people want to pull this off like this, These are kind of worn out stock cables, so they have a lot of play in them, but if you have aftermarket shifter cables or something like that, you don't want to bend them, because when you bend the cable, you're putting a lot of stress on this joint, not good for the cable. So push it forward, pull it out, slide it off, and keep this movement to a minimum on these as much as you can. So the gear selector springs are buried inside of the transmission, and to get that off, we essentially have to take the 4 bolts that hold the top of this mechanism to the top of the gearbox case. So it's 4 10mm bolts, and then you have an 8mm Allen in the front that you have to remove as well. So let's go ahead and do that. Make sure, and this is also very important, make sure the gearbox is in neutral. If it's in gear, then it's going to be a fight to put it all back together, because you're going to have to align the shift forks inside the transmission. So before you start, make sure it's in neutral and that this can go up and down freely. Okay. Now with our bolts out, this is another call out. There are 4 bolts and they are all not the same length. So you'll notice they're all different lengths. Long one goes here, long one goes here, medium sized one goes in the back, and then the smallest one will go in the front. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. So now we need to take the Allen off. All right, so this one's never come off before, so you're just gonna have to work. You can get like a pick or a flathead screwdriver and just kind of work your way around the sides. Eventually, you'll break the Honda bond loose and then make sure it's in neutral. And then this guy should just come right out the top. Yep, see, it wasn't in neutral. Now it is. So now it just comes right out. So the springs that we're gonna change are buried inside of here. You see these guys? And that is essentially what makes this piece move up and down. So we're gonna put a little stiffer spring in there and kind of bring it back to life. Let's go to the work. All right, so to swap these springs out, you want to remove this center bolt that's in the shaft. But be careful, because once you do it, it's gonna fire all this stuff off the side. So the orientation of this is also very important, because if you pull it out and it isn't lined back up, it's gonna be a mess. So you've got your bolt, you got your washer, this is very important, and then this guy slides off, and you want to keep it as close to kind of aligned as you can. I mean, it's going to want to slide out because there's a spring in there, but that's fine. So you pull your base off, and then the 2 springs. So the center spring slides out first, and then the outer spring, leave this washer on there, slide your new spring on, put this guy back on, these will seat, put our base back on, and then you're gonna hold this back, and now we're gonna sort of fight to have this realign. There we go, just like that. Okay. Boom. So now you want to get your position lined up, put your washer back on, put your bolt back in, and then we're going to tighten this down to keep it in place. All right, and then we'll torque this back to its original spec. So now we've got this in there, we'll torque it to 23 foot-pound, just like that. So now we've got our new gear selector springs in here, everything's installed. We need to clean all this Honda Bond off before we put it back on the gearbox. Once we do that, we'll put some fresh Honda Bond on it, we'll be ready to go. All cleaned up, and go ahead and add our Honda Bond. Try not to like super goop it, because it really spins spits out everywhere, but we'll do a, and then I'll go back and flatten this out a little bit. Get it all over. Make sure we have enough to where that it just spews out everywhere and makes a giant mess. Now once you have that set, make sure your setup is back in neutral. Line your dowel pin back up, and we will put our bolts back in to kind of lock it down. So remember, long bolt in the back, long bolt in the front corner, shorter bolt right here, medium-sized bolt in the back. And now that you've got those on there, we'll want to put our main bolt back on. So this bolt also gets a little bit of Honda Bond around the thread. Just a little bit, you don't need a whole lot on that guy. Now everything's back together, we'll get our torque wrench, front 29 pound-feet, and then the 4 10mm bolts, you'll torque to 9. Okay. All right, so now our gear selector springs are in there. Let's go ahead and reattach our shifter cables and see what it feels like. I mean, it really centers way better. Like before, it was kind of soft, but I mean,
so there you have it. Thank you to David for doing a beautiful illustration on how to install your detent springs and your shift selector springs. Now what I have in front of me are, in fact, shift selector springs and detent springs. One thing to know that we cover pretty much every K-series transmission if it's manual. This ain't gonna work for no auto tragic. I mean automatic, I'm sorry. These may look like detent springs, but these are actually shift selector springs for the L15 series of transmissions, as in your 10th gen, 11th gen Civic SIs, and also your Civic Type Rs. Regular detent springs, shift selector springs. So when you order your 11th gen or Type R shift selector springs and they come in this packaging with these two little springs, these are actually your shift selector springs and not detent springs. But if you have what I have, which is a generic K20, K24 manual transmission, then these are your detent springs and these are your shift selector springs. And for the S2000, you notice you have a lot more, because the S2000 uses a lot more. But we have those as well. So anything that you see here, you want to know more information about, or you're just ready to purchase, be sure to contact us today at hybridracing.com.